Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. We are here with you this morning again, and we want to be looking at why was I born?
Why?
You know, a lot of people ask that question, why was I born? What am I here for? What is my purpose? Okay,
Right, yeah.
so we cannot go into details this morning
Yeah.
with this topic, but
just
I
barely touch
promise
on
you
it, yeah.
that I will be teaching some more on it on our YouTube channel, and I will make you aware of when that is going to happen. But this morning, we just want to
Encourage.
briefly
Yeah.
look at it and encourage you somewhat to just step out into your purpose. And we're going to be reading from Proverbs 18 and verse 16. And it says, a man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men. Okay, when you are looking at your purpose, the first thing that you need to look at is your gifts and your talents. What am I good at?
Yeah.
Because when God designed you, He designed every single person and every single living thing, and the whole earth and creation was designed with a purpose. Right? So you're going to start looking at your gifts. What am I good at? What is it that I'm passionate about? And when you discover that, you have begun to discover what your purpose is, because your purpose is wrapped up in your gifts and in your talent. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is look at that. It says your gift bring you before great men. So when you think about your gift, you have to think about it in terms of me. What does this gift, that's this talent that God has given me, how can it benefit me
Yeah.
as a person? How can it uplift me? How can it make me a better person? What can I use it to do? And then you have to think about it. How can I use it to serve others?
Yes.
Because your gift is always, you're designed, each and every creature is designed to serve the other or to benefit another. For example, the sun, when it shines, it's not necessarily doing anything for the sun, but it is benefiting us. The trees outside, they breathe out oxygen so we can get it and we can breathe it in. So every creature, every person that is on earth is designed with a purpose, and that purpose is wrapped up into how do I serve others. So the two things you're going to look for: how is this gift or this passion of mine is going to help me? How is it going to benefit others?
Yes.
Chiefly, how is it going to benefit others?
Oh.
Because if you're not using it to benefit or to serve others, then it is not, you're not using it as God would have you to use it. Because God's purpose for us is to serve, each other and to be of benefit to each other while we are here on earth.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you a little example. I love to write. I've always loved to write. I've always been writing from a child. I write everything. There's nothing I don't write. I write poems, I write short stories, I write long stories, I write books, I write articles. There's nothing I don't write. So, and I also do plays and production. I used to do that a lot when I was younger. And I just used to do it because I love it. That's what I love. That's what my passion is. But I wasn't thinking about purpose at that time. And I wasn't thinking that I needed to use this to serve others, even though it was serving others to a point, because I used to produce plays for my church, and it was beneficial to them, but I wasn't thinking of it as being anything or using it to the glory of God. One day I was sitting at my desk at work, and the Holy Spirit came to me and said, you need to write for me. And I'm like, write for you? Write for you? I mean, it's just writing. I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You know, but then I started to consciously submit that gift to God and say to God, use me as you would have me. Use this gift that you have given me as you, for your glory, for your honor. And then an opportunity just opened up, right up, and a ministry asked me to write articles for them shortly after, and then this gift just propelled into writing books and other things. So you have to be confident in that gift that God has given you, and you have to be willing to submit it to God. and ask Him,
So true.
use this for your glory.
So
And that
true.
is when you start walking into your purpose, because now God is taking that which He has designed and
Yeah.
deposited it in you, and He has begun now to use it for His glory. So now you are beginning to step out into your purpose.
Yeah.
All right? So you're asking yourself, why was I born? Right? Begin to look at yourself. Even your very design is wrapped up in your purpose. Even the way you look, the color of your hair, your eyes, your nose, every single thing is wrapped up into your purpose. And that is why sometimes we say, oh, I don't like my eyes, I don't like my voice. I didn't like my voice. I did not like my voice when I was growing up, because I still have a very big voice. I really don't need a mic if I decide to shout, or if I just decide to project my
Yeah.
voice, because I don't need to shout. But my voice is very big, and I didn't like it. But then God told me that I gave you your voice to speak and to minister to others. So that's why I gave you that voice that, can project and propel, and it's like that. So
Yeah.
even your very design, your very makeup is wrapped up in your purpose. So you should start looking at that.
And of course, sometimes, we dabble in our little talents as well. For example, you do a little art, or you can do hair, or you can do makeup, or any little thing.
Any little thing.
For when I was in high school, I think I was in like ninth grade. I don't know, one of those grades. I entered into this art, there was a art competition going around for the entire island, and our school entered, and there was like at least 20 of us in the class who was doing this art competition, and I did a specific technique, and I did it, and then everyone saw mine, and they were like, oh, that's a good idea, and they all did the same thing. And I was like, you know what, it's fine. I didn't really think much of it. I was just saying, maybe it's a good idea to just see what it could do. And I'm telling you, there were some of them were kind of looking better than mine, but I didn't let that discourage me or anything. And then a couple of weeks later, my art teacher just came to my class and said,
Yes.
I have some good news. I'm like, psh. I was like, what? What good news? He's like, you made it in the top 15. Keeping in mind, this was not just my school. This was the school all over the island entered into this competition. And I made top 15 for a major, company, a very known company wanted
Yes,
some
a
ID.
very known art gallery.
Wanted some different ideas.
Yes.
And they chose mine. And the principal came and congratulated me. Can you imagine? This is a very big school. There were like at least 2,000 people.
Right.
And the principal came and congratulated me. It said, and what?
And bringeth him before great men. Yes.
People starting to see
Your little artwork.
my little art. In my mind, I'm like, this is nothing major. This was just I just did it. But then the school got notified, because of course your school got noticed, and they're very they're like, oh, okay.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure they didn't even know that the art station was doing this.
Yes.
And we went to the gallery, and it was very fancy, to be honest. Very fancy. And I was like, oh, this was for real. Like, I think it really hit me then that it was for real.
Yes.
And then there was like different famous art people who was there, and they were looking at my art. And I was like, oh wow, I never thought about doing this way.
Yes.
And I'm like,
thank you, God.
thank you.
Sometimes you just have to step out there with your gift and with your talent. You might think it's minor.
Yeah.
And if somebody comes to you and asks you, what's your gift, what's your talent? You're like, I have no gift.
Like, don't short.
Because you think
don't
that
short
what you're
yourself.
doing is simple and it's
Yeah.
nothing. But that passion that you have, that gift that you have, that is what God has deposited in you,
Yes.
so that you can use it for the
Yeah.
benefit of others first,
others.
and for the benefit of yourself. And so the first thing you need to do when thinking about what is my purpose, why was I born, was start looking at your gift and start submitting that gift to God and asking Him, God, use this for your glory, and open doors for me and show me what you would have me to do with this talent and this gift that you have given me. Because it says he's going to bring you before it will bring you before great men. That's what happened in the case of Olivia with her artwork. You know, it's going to bring you, open doors for you. It's going to bring you before great men. All right. So if you have questions, you can message us or whatever, but we just wanted to start you on that track to say, why was I born? Yes, you were born for a purpose.
For a purpose.
God designed you specifically for a particular purpose, and it's not very hard to discover what it is. Because sometimes when we think of our purpose and people say to you, you're born for a purpose, it seems so big and so hard to discover. It is not very hard to discover. It is wrapped up in your gifts. It's wrapped up in your makeup, how you look, your design, your very features that you have, your personality. It is wrapped up in that. And now what you have to do is submit all these things to God and say, use it as you would see fit. And then now when you step out in faith and start, using that passion and that gift that God has given you, you have begun to walk in your purpose. And there are many, many things to discover along the way. It is deeper than this, but this is what we want to leave with you this morning. And when we're doing it in more detail, we will let you know, so you can come to our YouTube channel and you can get it in more detail. But today we want to encourage you. You're born for a purpose. You're just not here existing. You're born for a purpose. God has a plan for your life, and that plan is good. And so we just want to encourage you. Be encouraged. Know that you're not a mistake. Know that you're here for a purpose, and be encouraged this morning. All right? So we will talk to you again tomorrow.
See you
Have
later.
a great day.